No widespread fraud with JobKeeper. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's have a look at this article from ABC News by Nassim Kadim discussing the JobKeeper payments that the ATO is getting back and, well, questions about fraud or widespread fraud by people on JobKeeper or businesses trying to take advantage of JobKeeper. Remember, there were several articles discussing that, claiming that, and, well, let's have a look here. It's good to see that it looks like it hasn't materialized. So, the tax office has clawed back about 120 million out of 69 billion in JobKeeper payments from businesses it deemed ineligible, but has not found widespread fraud relating to government's stimulus measures. Well, that's good that they haven't found widespread fraud. What's sad is that a lot of that 69 billion, well, I'd like to see how much of that 69 billion has gone to businesses that end up being liquidated within 6 months. So was it a waste? Would it be better to just put those people onto Centrelink and government support? There's the question for you. The ATO's second commissioner, Jeremy Hirschhorn, told Senate budget estimates the recovered payments were from applicants were either deliberate or recklessly mistakes. Mr. Hirschhorn's evidence followed Tax Commissioner Chris Jordan's promise to review the ATO's administration of the early release of superannuation scheme to ensure it does not get exploited by perpetrators of domestic violence and financial abuse. Mr. Hirschhorn said when it came to JobKeeper, most of the time employers had made honest mistakes. He said in those cases the ATO often did not ask for funds to be repaid, but stopped employers from being able to claim in future. He took on notice a question about how many employers had either made deliberate or unintentional errors. Earlier this year, the ATO told ABC News more than 6,500 applications for JobKeeper had been rejected since the program commenced in March, either due to ineligibility or fraud, and thousands more Australians could see their payments docked. But Mr. Hirschhorn told the hearing there had not been widespread high-level systematic fraud across the government's assistance packages. He said cases identified by the ATO of people misusing these schemes had been more opportunistic. I mean, I think there are a lot of people getting these schemes that don't need them. But your competitor could get an unfair competitive advantage if they take advantage of it and you don't. So people have to take it. That's the dilemma we face here. And we're all going to pay it back anyway one day, guys. One way or another. They'll get that blood from the stone. They'll find a way. Find a way. Employers are given the JobKeeper wage subsidy to pass on to eligible employees. From late March until September 28th, the Morrison government paid a flat $1,500 each fortnight to everyone eligible for the JobKeeper. Now, I never got it. Well, because I'm not an employee. So I have my own business. But I had neighbors that got it. You know, that work as contractors for the government. So there you go. This was the cut to $1,200 each fortnight per full-time employee and $750 for part-time employees. The wage subsidy will be cut again next year from January 4th until March 28th. Businesses will be able to claim $1,000 per fortnight per full-time employee and $650 per part-time employee. So financial abuse is intolerable, says Jordan. Consumer advocates have also expressed concern about the Morrison government's early access scheme, which allowed individuals to withdraw up to $20,000 in two separate transactions of $10,000 each from their super. Data published by the Australian Prudential Regulation Authority showed that as of October 18, more than 4.5 million people had taken a total of $34.4 billion out of their retirement savings. And, I mean, here's the thing. If you use that, if you've generally, work is reduced. I mean, for us, work reduced. If you take it out, what are you going to do with it? You just fritter away on garbage. Some people were buying things they didn't need. We had a neighbor. She rented her house, which she had a huge mortgage that she's stressing out about. And then how many other people said, okay, I'll take that money out of the super. I'll chuck it off credit card debt. And then I'll cut up the cards, or I'll put it off the mortgage, or I'll spend it on something that I can, a long-term investment. Or how many silver bugs took it out and put it into silver just to have? Or how many people took it out just to have a cash reserve that they could access themselves in an instance when they needed it? Their own emergency reserve. And I know the media goes on. They'll highlight the like 2 or 3% of idiots that will get like a boob job or gamble it away at the pokies to remove people's ability to have access to their own money. Because that's what it is. This is your money. This is part of your wages that are forcefully set aside because Paul Keating didn't think you dumb plebs, myself included, could manage your own money. So then it goes to the big retail super funds controlled by the banks where they're skimming money off every single day, or it goes to the union controlled funds where they're skimming money off it every single day. There you go. Big chunk of our wages that we don't have control over. That's why, and even self-managed super funds, you can control it that way. Well, no, you can't. You can't take that, money that you've got sitting there and use it to buy a house to live in, can you? So I know some people say, but then people will have nothing saved for the pension, and they'll have to, nothing saved for retirement, then they'll have to live on the pension, and I'm paying for them then. Well, those same people will get their super all out and will probably piss it away real quick. It'll gamble it away, smoke it away, waste it away. That would be interesting to see. Honestly, that would be quite interesting to see. What do you think, guys? Do you think we should have more access to our superannuation? Should it be voluntary? Should these super funds actually have to compete and entice you to actually go with them? Then you might get a bit better service. Then you might be able to invest in gold and crypto and property and have much more control over it. Anyway, let me know. What's your favorite fund? How do you do it? Let us know in the comments. Because I know there are a few out there, a few funds that can provide different products. So, but back to the article. But consumer advocates, including the Financial Counselling Australia Chief Executive Fiona Guthrie, have warned women may be pressured by their partners to take money out of their superannuation. In response to questions from Labor Senator Jenny McAllister, it became clear no warnings had been given to people accessing their super about the threat possessed by financial abuse. Mr. Hirschhorn said it would be hard to determine if this was happening because people use their own MyGov accounts to apply. Exactly. I mean, how can that be possibly determined? Or does the government want to intervene into people's personal lives even more? See, this is the thing. It's fear. Fear pushing these senators to ask these type of questions. They're concerned. Mr. Jordan said the sheer volume of people accessing their super early made it difficult to track cases of financial abuse. How would it even be possible? But pressed on the matter by Senator McAllister, Mr. Jordan said he would investigate it after saying it would be shocking and intolerable. We will certainly refer, but it's not just going to be, of course, it's not just going to be women who are the victims of financial abuse. There's going to be men as well, and it's never mentioned, of course, because you've got a gendered view, an ideologically incorrect gendered view of financial abuse and these things. But, that's just the world. Intimate partner violence is statistically 50-50 or pretty close to it, depending on where you source your data. Because, there'll be a lot of blokes that will be the victim of financial abuse. I can guarantee you that. If anything, blokes are probably going to be more susceptible to it. You've all heard the stories about the guys in the army going off overseas on deployment and their girlfriend just emptied out the bank account. They're all warned about that. I'm sure there's some blokes in the comments that can share stories. So, Finance Minister Matthias Cormann defended the federal government's handling of the super scheme, saying you have to accept certain trade-offs when there's need for speed. Yeah, exactly. Come on. He said the federal government had been motivated by helping Australians, including women, during the COVID crisis. And at every election, I know that all Australians, including women, have the opportunity to pass judgment on how the value of our performance and how they assess our plans for the future compared to the alternative, Senator Cormann said. So, there we have it, everyone. I'm in a bit of a tangent off JobKeeper with regards to super and risks of financial abuse. There's always going to be risks of financial abuse, everyone. I think a bigger concern is the lack of financial literacy among our citizens and everyone in the country. That's just the way it is. That's a big problem. As always, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Did you take out your super? Were you having tough times? Use it for a saving buffer, or did you attack debt? Or did you get that new boob job that you always wanted? As always, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. Support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, or including our pocket squares you can see right behind me. You can also use Gold Pass or Perth Mint to support us. Take care, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.